This is week 12 for theater management. This week we are going over Anthony Ryan's chapter 9 and 10, which chapter 9 is marketing a theater and chapter 10 is creating promotional material. I am going to have to talk kind of fast. I'm having to film through my Snapchat camera because my normal front-facing camera is not working. I don't know why. So hopefully get this done quickly. Chapter 9 I found really interesting because of the psychological element more of than just the business element. I really liked how we kind of were understanding like what is the audience perspective. What do we want to spend our money on? What do we need? Like, what are we looking for when we spend our money? All of that. What is for our discretionary income? What is ultimately a person looking for? And I kind of felt that like understanding human nature was throughout this entire chapter, which I really liked. And so going on the 4 P's to kind of just focus on that is product, pricing, place, and promotion. Product is hard because not only are you matching artistic visions with business, like we discussed way back in the beginning of this class, but you are having to figure out what works for your community, right? And so understanding what your audience is willing to pay for that. And then pricing, obviously, right? The more expensive something is, the nicer we think it is. It's not always necessarily the case, but that's what we think of, right? And then place. I liked this one from the laundromat example part of it. Like, what do we as humans have to do? And there's basic tasks, right, that kind of match up with where do we go in the day, right? And so I wouldn't have thought of promoting there. And then that leads us to promotion, right? So lead in those, like, advertise in those common areas, right, that people have to exist in, and giving that idea of what does a human have to do in those different places. Like I said, my ultimate sum up of this one was the psychology of perception. I really found intriguing. I wish I had more time to talk about that, but like perception to me is such a human thing, right? How are we perceived one-on-one? How are we perceived in the world makes us as humans make us insecure or confident in different ways, but your business being perceived is so valuable, right? And especially to me, perception and promotion has changed a lot, even in the last 5 years, right? Because a video can go viral and your business can be done like that with perception. And so our perception really matters, right? And so I think that was really interesting, and the psychology of perception, right? Then chapter 10, I think, appeared as if it was going to be a basic, this is how you advertise chapter, right? But it's really in-depth. I loved the Hamlet example. I did Julius Caesar this year, and I really wish that I had maybe marketed it differently, right? Other than just come see the Shakespeare play. These kids are in it, right? I really liked how they made Hamlet in the chapter example from mourning to a murder mystery, which is something I would not have thought of, but it was much more intriguing to the audience. So I really liked that. And then I really liked there's a section called How Humans React and Who Responds to What. And I think that is really valuable. Just like, what are we doing, right? What do we look for, and what do our societies around our theaters look for, right? I really enjoyed these 2 chapters. I enjoyed the marketing element, the business, but I really, really liked the psychology of perception. And so I hope you have a great week and a great Easter if I don't see it or make a video before then. Bye.